Hey everyone, Glenn Sanford here, founder of eXp Realty, and today I'm excited to talk to Russell Enyart. He's in Northern California, four-time ICON agent out of Northern California. And welcome to the Expansion Podcast.
Thank you so much, Glenn. I'm super excited and honored to be here with you.
So Russell, you've been in the business. One year you were, I think, at another brokerage, the one of the red companies, I guess.
Correct.
Red,
100%
white, blue, red,
Yeah.
red, and white.
Yeah.
And then the last three or so you've been with EXP, but you've already ICON four times. It sounds like.
3 times. Sorry.
Three times.
Yeah, 3 times. I just reset in April about 14 days ago. It'd be good to ICON in 14 days. We do have 11 open escrows, but we're not going to ICON that quick.
Okay, well, that'd be a lot of fun to do that. So how has been, obviously, you came in 2019, a great year in real estate, then COVID hit, and then 22 came, and 21, and then 22, and then how has been the business? You've been in kind of almost a roller coaster of what to expect next.
Oh my gosh, it's been an incredible experience to start off with first. And I've been involved in real estate for a long time, but never as intimately as I have been the last 4 years as a producing agent. And I'll be honest with you, when I jumped in 2019, it was because I had a interview with a person over at that red company where they have a mustache as their mascot. And I realized that I needed to get out of the corporate world. I had a very prestigious job there, and I needed to go sell real estate because I didn't need to be nearly as successful to make way more money. And then you know, like this true. It was 2022 hit, and I realized that you actually have to run it like a business to keep producing. So it's been a lot of fun and a whirlwind and a blessing, but I'm learning, and I've got the wheels back on the bus here in 2023.
Okay. So 2022, of course, that was what, your third year in the business?
It was my fourth year in the business as a full-time real estate agent, third year with EXP. I was concentrated on growing my team, and I had a bunch of other irons in the fire. And then, Glenn, I actually coach girls softball at a very high level, which is my full-time job in the summers and the falls. And it was not a good time not to be involved in my real estate business as much as I should have been, as the brakes got hit on the real estate market. And I think everybody kind of froze, right? I don't think ever in the history of the United States have we doubled interest rates in a 12-month, single year. And I was out coaching girls softball at a high level and trying to build my team and not really having a good engine for production like I should. It was just coming to me. And I learned my lesson. And like I said, we got the wheels back on the bus here in 23.
Well, awesome. So now business is good and continue to build out, but you've got kind of an interesting focus. I think you're focused primarily on distressed properties.
Yeah, 100% accurate. I couldn't lose. Like I think I said before, my family is really good at spending a decent corporate salary. And when I jumped into real estate, I didn't have a chance to not succeed, or we would have been in trouble in a hurry. So I focused on my sphere, like everybody said. I'm not afraid to go out and meet other people. And then distressed property is where I had been most of my life when it comes to my involvement in real estate. I bought a bunch of properties at the foreclosure sales at the courthouse steps. I'd flipped those properties and made a decent living on the side of doing that. And so when I went into full-time real estate, the REO industry, even though it was the slowest time ever, I didn't know any better. It was the first time I'd ever been involved in REOs as a broker, and I was getting plenty of business, even though the business was way down from the highs in the 2008, 2009, 2010 era of REOs. And then I was also buying distressed properties myself, and then for clients, and then getting listings from those distressed properties just by concentrating in that niche. And so things went really well for me.
Okay, awesome. Now, are you seeing more distressed properties given the rapid increase in interest rates?
Yeah, so interesting that you should ask. I said I couldn't fail, so I immediately joined the NADP, or REO MAC as it used to be called. So I sit on one of the boards at NADP, and then I am now in NRBA. And so we've got to see a lot of the statistics. I'll tell you what some of the banks are doing now, Glenn, is they're being very proactive prior to going REO. So there's a lot more systems and processes that are set up to make sure that the properties don't actually go back to the banks. And they have lots of ways to dispose of those assets in a good way for everybody prior to that happening. But yeah, with the double in interest rates and then the moratorium on not being able to foreclose during COVID being lifted, that was in 2021 and 2022 for most of the time. Yeah, we're seeing a lot more foreclosures. We're still not where we were at in 2017 or 2018, but it's way more than the last few years.
Okay, awesome. And so you're seeing obviously a few more for agents in general. That maybe is not a good thing to hear, but I'm guessing you're seeing it as still a very small percentage of the overall marketplace.
Very small percentage of the overall marketplace, for sure. And there's our memberships at those two associations are starting to swell. I think people are believing, hey, now that foreclosures are back, interest rates are up, the market's starting to decline, that we're going to have 2008 all over again. We're not anywhere near those levels. And like I said, these banks have gotten much better because of that on how to dispose of these assets in a way that's positive for both the borrower and the bank prior to them being foreclosed upon. So yeah, not nearly the flow as before, but a lot more than we've had the last few years. So I think there is some opportunity there. I worked with Don a bit when we set up our original REO certification program. So there is definitely a significant amount of business there, but not 2008 levels.
Okay. Now, when you talk about Don, are you also working with the ExpressOffers team as well? Or
absolutely, working with the ExpressOffers teams here in the area that I'm here in the Northern California. One of our more aggressive buyers I've hooked up with ExpressOffers. He goes live in the next couple of weeks, which is really exciting. That's a great platform and an outstanding way for folks to get extra business and extra listings.
Okay, awesome. And what most excites you about ExpressOffers? It sounds like you know a fair bit about it.
I like the opportunity to potentially sell that property early and have the seller, a lot of times they just don't want to go on the market. They don't want to deal with anything. They don't want to do the fix up. And that's where I think ExpressOffers works the best, is people that are ready to just get moving, right? And so we can bring in that property to the ExpressOffers platform, make sure that we're hitting the right ExpressOffers buyers buy boxes, and then get an offer over to the seller that they're willing to take right away. And then you as an agent, right, make the commission then. And then if that's one of the ExpressOffers clients that then turns around, flips them and sells it again, then you get another listing, which is fantastic. And then I don't know, if I'm supposed to share, but if you bring a buyer into the ExpressOffers program, EXP is fantastic at sharing some of the income that we make on that. So this buyer that I'm bringing in, I'll be able to make a little bit of money on each one of the transactions that we do. And that's super cool too.
Yeah, it's one of the things we built in day one. It was the idea that, we wanted to build a marketplace with multiple buyers and be an alternative to the big institutional iBuyers, which, by the way, a lot of them quit buying homes, whereas the small investor is still opportunistically looking because they don't have a balance sheet that's overloaded with a whole bunch of inventory. They're a lot more nimble and agile than the big buyers.
I mean, I totally agree with you. I think that this is the perfect time if somebody's not in our ExpressOffers program and they're a cash buyer to get into it. They know their local market better. They're going to make better decisions. And it's going to be better for us at EXP and agents. Those giant iBuyers were buying on weird, formulas that didn't make sense. And you've seen what's happened to the P&Ls of those companies on the properties that they acquired. It wasn't a good thing for them. And like you said, the local nimble guys, they're still knowing what they're doing. They're still buying at a high rate. My guy here in Sacramento, Northern California buys 10 plus a month, which is a significant amount of properties for an individual buyer.
Right. Now, tell me about what USA Home Bids. That's, I think, something you're involved with.
It is something that I'm involved with. Thank you for asking. I absolutely love USA Home Bids. I think it is the future of real estate, to be honest with you, Glenn. I know we had a deal done with EXP about 18 months ago, but I think I started our conversation today saying I worked at a big corporate entity and I understand what it takes to go live with somebody like EXP nationally, and we were not ready. So we rebuilt the platform from the ground up. We're finishing all of our contracts right now. We've still been running on a very small scale, but it is a very neat concept where we, I think, are one step ahead of the National Association of Realtors and the transparency of commissions. They're having a little trouble, and people are not, what's the word I'm looking for? Pleased with the lack of transparency in commissions in real estate nationally. And so what we do is we really make it clear who's paying which commissions to whom. And it's a platform that markets properties using a bidding process. So we sell them quickly, we sell them efficiently. We charge a buyer's premium, which allows you to market to sellers that, hey, listen, you're only going to pay the listing side commission, which we get usually a full 3%. The seller is extremely happy because they're only paying 3%. And then you as an agent are happy because you're earning a full 3%. We have a 95+% success rate at selling these the first time through. We're in contract usually in 12 days or less. And then the buyer is comfortable understanding through this platform, it's completely transparent. They're not overpaying for a property. They're only paying about $1,000 more than the next highest bidder was willing to pay. And so it's a system that's worked fabulous for me. I've probably sold over 100 properties myself this way over the last 2 years.
Okay, awesome.
I don't know if I did a good job.
No. And so the listing agent, or in this case, or the USA Home Bids, which is by extension, that's you, right, as a listing agent?
Yeah, so if you are a certified agent on USA Home Bids, it allows you to put the property on a platform. It then gets syndicated through all of our friends at, like Zillow, Trulia, Redfin, all those folks, right? They all syndicate it for us. And the people get this property that they're excited about. Mom and pop will get off the couch because they see this property. Our open houses, we've had 200 people through, even in the slow market right now that's slowed down. It's not out of the question for us to have 200 people through our open house. It's a very short bidding period. It draws a lot of attention. It's probably the best marketing tool that I have seen for listings. Going back to my bank properties, the banks love this because it's fully transparent. They get to see the bidding happen online. It's great for other situations such as trusts where some of the beneficiaries would rather see something transparent. Same thing with divorces if they'd like to see something transparent. So we've been able to use it in a number of different ways. It's worked absolutely fantastic. So I'm excited about rolling it out again now that we've got the platform rebuilt from the ground up. We had it on a terrible WordPress platform before. Now it's all proprietary. It's built on Amazon Web Server. So we should be ready to go the next time around with you guys, Glenn. I was talking to the folks behind the scenes on making us a vendor nationally.
Okay, awesome. And so, one of the questions that will get asked, so I'll just ask it. So how do buyer's agents work with this? If they've got a client that would be interested in bidding on homes in USA Home Bids?
Yeah, we put the agent at the center of the transaction. And unlike some of the other online platforms that are trying to cut agents and cut agents' commissions, we are exactly the opposite. We want the agent in the middle of the transaction. The buyer's agent should earn 2.5% or whatever they earn in their area. Some of the areas in the country, they're earning 2.8%. And we just adjust the buyer's premium to reflect a full commission for the buyer's agent. Now, the way that it works is the buyer can bid on their own behalf or their agent can bid for them. If they're going to bid on their own behalf when they register, they just said, hey, I'm bidding on my own behalf, but I have an agent. We give them all of the pertinent information to make sure that they bid and are successful if they want to be successful on the platform. Once they're the winning bidder, we send them the information on how the agent is supposed to write the offer so that we can all work together.
So USA Home Bids, kind of a cool platform. How many agents are currently using it?
We have about 600 agents on the platform right now that are using it. And, once we switch to the new platform, which is going to be in the next 30 days or so, we've already ran a number of test properties. It's working beautifully. The marketing happens automatically. There's so many more things that are automated. Then we'll come back to the table with EXP, and then we have one other large group that wants to take advantage of what we're doing. And so I'm expecting us to have, before the end of the year, 20, 30,000 folks on the platform, which will be great.
Okay, awesome. Now, what's your with the leads and the things that you're managing? What do you use? What's your favorite CRM?
I use KV Core. I'll tell you a fun story. So before I came over to EXP and I was at that other red company, they had rolled out a CRM that was supposed to be the barn burner or the showstopper. And let me tell you, it was definitely the showstopper. It stopped my show.
The command of real estate.
Yes, the command of real estate. And God bless my person that was in charge. Right? She's like, Russell, it doesn't work. Go out and find a real CRM. So I did. So we did a whole bunch of research and we had it narrowed down between Boomtown and KV Core. And I had a team, right? I followed the Millionaire Real Estate Agent book to a T. And we narrowed it down to Boomtown and KV Core. And we finally picked KV Core and I was paying $799 a month for the team version. And after a period of time where we decided that we were going to move companies, I was going to open my own brokerage. And fortunately, my brother-in-law is a broker for E&O insurance. He absolutely discouraged me from doing that. And he told me about EXP. And so I was lucky enough to do some research and tie on with a really fantastic group here. And when I found out that I was going to save $799 a month because KV Core was part of our $85, that was just another $10,000 savings a year for me coming over to EXP. So it was a no-brainer.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So obviously come in with a fairly unique approach to real estate, but what would be one piece of advice you would provide to an EXP agent?
I would tell EXP agents that I've been at a lot of the biggest companies in the world at a very high level, and EXP is the most collaborative place I have ever been. Everyone will share. I have called folks like Jay Kinder. I'll just say Jay was so giving and willing to take my call. And I won't stop there. Like Gene Frederick has been so giving and helpful and actually came out for multiple days to help me with one of my folks I was trying to bring on to EXP. So do not be afraid to collaborate. It doesn't matter if you're in the same downline, if you're in the same group. We are all in the same company. We're all owners. So make sure that you collaborate. When you get here, you are not on an island, even though we're a virtual company and we have, no real offices. The collaboration is world-class, best I've ever seen anywhere.
Awesome. Well, Russell, thank you so much for jumping on here. It's really interesting to sort of learn, your approach and how you've kind of built your business out. And where would somebody find you online? I think we mentioned USA Home Bids is one place, but do you have another website?
Yeah, USA Home Bids, info at USA Home Bids is the email there. That comes to me and a couple of my other folks. I have a YouTube channel. If you just put in Enyart, Enyart, and real estate, all of my stuff comes up. My social media, there's not a lot of Enyarts in the country, and I think I'm the only one that does real estate. So Enyart and real estate in a Google search, and you'll get my Instagram, my websites, my YouTube channel. Everything is on there.
Awesome. Well, thanks again, Russell. Really appreciate it. And thanks everyone for listening to this particular podcast.
Thank you. It's been a pleasure.